Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode, and today we're going to be ranking my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. So, on this list, you'll probably know which one's going to be in the top, or close to the top, because I've talked about it before here on the channel, and it's a lot of people's favorite show. So, I know this might be a basic answer, but I'll give my reasoning why it's my favorite when we get to number 1. But for number 5, let's start off with the spin-off of one of the shows on this list. Better Call Saul, which is a prequel. This show has the best cinematography of any show, in my opinion. It has great montages. And let's talk about the acting. Bob Odenkirk is great as Saul Goodman again. And I love some of the most emotional moments are between him and Chuck, his brother. And then we get other characters in the show, like Nacho, played by Michael Mando, and Rhea Seehorn as Kim, Saul's girlfriend. And I know Vince Gilligan is making a new show where she stars as the main character, and I'm so excited because she was great in the show. And it was a very emotional moment when they actually break up at the end of season 6 after all the stuff with Lalo. Last thing I'll talk about. Lalo Salamanca, Tony Dalton's character, amazing antagonist. I wouldn't say he's as good as Gus, but he's close to it. And the way he was killed off, he deserves something better than being... I mean, Gus did outsmart him, and it was really cool seeing Gus's, monologue, knowing that, to Lalo's recording camera, saying his opinions on the Salamancas, because he knew the hidden gun was going to kill him. So, yeah, Better Call Saul Season 6 is a great season. Maybe not as good as Breaking Bad Season 5, but up there. Very close. So number 4 on my list of my favorite shows is Trailer Park Boys. This is the only comedy on this list. The rest are all dramas and thriller. There's one thriller. But Trailer Park Boys is to me, you might say, this is just personal nostalgia. I'm putting it above Better Call Saul. Objectively, it is not better than Better Call Saul, but it is fun comedy. I love it. I love Ricky, Julian, Bubbles. I love how sometimes when it starts out, you're rooting against Mr. Leahy, but sometimes serious, you become a great fan of it. And it's so many great moments with Smokes, Let's Go, where Ricky always demands smokes from Corey and Trevor. Even when they're in a wrecked car, the car is wrecked and they're stuck in it, he's still asking for smokes. And it really does feel different when Trevor leaves, in season 6 or season 7. But I'm thankful he got 12 seasons, because it is a fun ride. I rewatch it 2 times. I'm probably going to rewatch it again eventually. And I love it. I wish it got its 13th season, but unfortunately, Leahy's actor, James Dunsworth, yeah, he passed away. So I don't know if they'd be able to. I had to check his actor's name. I think that's his name. But he was great. He's a lot of people's favorite from this show. Ricky's my favorite, but personally, I could see either way. So number 3 on the list is where we start getting into the more shows you might think of on the list. So this one's between The Sopranos and Dexter for me. I really love The Sopranos. And this because I think that Tony Soprano is one of the greatest cases of, and Melfi is one of the greatest cases of a therapist. And it's such a show you can catch on with. I'm gonna put Dexter at number 3. So with that being said, these top 3 are above and beyond, in my opinion. Cannot be touched. I love all 3 of these shows. So Dexter is an amazing show to me. I had always heard about it, and when I finally watched it, it's after the first couple episodes, I got hooked onto it so much. Michael C. Hall plays Dexter so great. He's always saying, "I don't have feelings." As the show goes on, we can see he does have feelings, and just characters like Deborah, Jennifer Carpenter's character, she's great, and it is really sad the way they killed her off. She deserves something better. Desmond Harrington is Quinn. Masuka, Angel Batista, all these characters. That's why Dexter, because the plot is very interesting. It's a serial killer that you could root for because he's killing objectively worse people who've ruined many lives. I love season 5, for example. That's an underrated season. Season 4 is my favorite, but season 5, where he teams up with Lumen to kill the people who killed the Barrel Girls and were going to kill her, those people deserved it because the stuff they were doing to those women, and you feel great to see Dexter helping this girl get revenge on the people that tortured her. And it's amazing. It is an amazing show. After season 6, season 7 is great. I want to rank those seasons one day. I like season 7 a lot. Season 6 and 8 are season 6 is bad, but season 8 is terrible. But every other season of that show is amazing to me. But season 4 really is what elevates its number, because the way that Trinity kills, I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. But number 2, The Sopranos. The Sopranos is one of those shows that really pioneered the drama, basically. So, this show came out in 1999, and man, oh man, isn't it a way it walked so Breaking Bad could run? On to me, Tony Soprano, played by James Gandolfini. I have to pronounce. I don't want to pronounce because rest in peace. And rest in peace, James, the actor of Tony. Tony is such a character that you root for, because he's our protagonist, but he is a piece of crap. A lot of times, especially when he kills Christopher, which that Christopher is my favorite character, probably. And there's just so much stuff through it. It really shows towards the end. We get the ambiguous ending. Did Tony survive? Did Tony not? Is he gonna get killed? Is he okay? And there's no answer to it. And that's the perfect way to end the show off. The Sopranos really was a pioneer. It isn't as good as number 1 on this list, but I could see why you put it number 1, because it's very deserving of that ranking if you put it there. And I would not argue with you if you put it there. Heck, I wouldn't actually. Everybody has an opinion, so whatever you put at your top 1, at your number 1 spot, I agree with, because it's what you want. So that leaves my number 1 as, you might have guessed it, I've talked about it before in this channel, Breaking Bad. Everything about this show took Better Call Saul. That, of course, I watched Better Call Saul first, so I knew that show first. I had saw some episodes of Breaking Bad on TV, but I never watched from season 1 to season 5. But I'll tell you what, the excitement I got, I had some of it spoiled, but season 4 is a viewing experience I'll never forget, because come 2024, when I finally watched it all fully in the early part of that year, from like April to June, Season 4 was one of those straightforward binges for me. I watched, over one night, I watched the whole season. I loved it. Getting to Salud and seeing Gus finally take out these people that killed his lover, and getting his revenge, finally after all this time, this masterful plot that he poisons and he pukes it up so he wouldn't. Gus is one of those antagonists that really brought it over for me. I love Saul, but really, Walt and Jesse's relationship is what really makes this show great. The chemistry between Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. And even Aaron Paul was so good, they were going to originally write his character off. That was the original plan, but he was so good, they kept him around. And that's just, Jesse is probably the best character, because you start out, you think, Walt starts out as you think be the better, more moral person. But by the end of it, Jesse becomes one of the most loving characters of all media. The way he loves for Andrea, the way he loves for Brock, the hurt he has when he realizes Walt poisoned his surrogate, basically his son, kind of. Just the sadness and stuff that Walt would go that far to kill Gus just to poison Brock, to get to Gus, and that's just, it is absolutely, like, to see the path that Walter White takes from this chemistry teacher to this full-on meth kingpin, who is basically got this ego, and then he kills Mike because of his ego, played by Jonathan Banks. Amazing character, so badass. He kills Mike, and that's when you just realize that Walt's went off the rails. He's by this point, he's too egotistical. He cannot be questioned. He is the king. So, and that's how season 5 is split up into 2. Yeah, as I believe it was originally aired 5A, 5B, kind of like how The Sopranos, I think, was season 6 was like. So season 5 it's some people view it as season 6, like the last 8 episodes of the season, because, which, I think it was, if you do it that way, because they're very different tones. But what a way to end off the first part of season 5, and that's a very notable way how Hank finds the Walt Whitman book in the back where Gail's message in it, and then he realizes. So to see the last part of the season be this like downward slide into Heisenberg finally being found out, having to go on the run, then come back and killing the neo-Nazis, and then saving Jesse. What a great way to end that show. Season 5 is one of the best concluding seasons of a show. I can't talk so much. I can talk so much about how much I enjoy. I can't describe how much in words that Breaking Bad is my favorite show. Cinematography wise, Crawl Space, that ending is always going to be one of my favorite moments in all of television, because the way it's the pure, you realize Walt's horror at this horror at this point, that he knows it is the end. At any moment Gus could kill him. Any moment Gus could do, because Gus threatened him in this episode. He goes home, searches the crawl space. The money that he would have been able to escape with his family is all gone, and it could be because Skyler gave it to Ted, and the panic and just the realization that now is he's on the clock. He could die anytime, and the frantic laughing, and then Skyler getting the call from Marie that Hank, the cartels wanted to attack Hank, and it's just that the soundtrack is as the shot pans up and you just see Walt laying like he's in a grave. What a way to end Crawl Space. That episode, I love. There you go, guys. That's my list of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I want to eventually make videos about the Breaking Bad seasons, break them down, then maybe move on to Dexter and do that in The Sopranos. But until then, I love you guys. Christ loves you. Take care. Stay blessed.